All right, we're gonna talk about the 7 things I wish I knew prior to my 7th orthopedic surgery. So if you're watching this, you're probably recovering from surgery, about to have one, or just trying to figure out what the heck is going on with your body. So we're gonna try to provide some helpful tips and things that we wish we knew along the way. So these 7 tips are really to try to help give you some peace of mind, save you some stress, some doubt, frustration, second guessing, and really to overall just save you some mental energy. So the first tip that really helped me along the way, which I wish I learned sooner, was that pain doesn't always mean a setback, or pain doesn't always mean danger. So post-surgery or injury, every little twinge or weird ache kind of really feels like a red flag, and it's very easy for your mind to convince you of that.
Yeah, just pain. It was pain everywhere. So we got to keep on pushing through.
Your mind very quickly convinces you that something is gravely wrong or has set you back to the beginning of your protocol, but most of the time it's really just part of the process. And so pain doesn't always mean damage. It just means that your body is readjusting, rebuilding, waking up again, and really learning the difference between normal sore or even some normal pain versus something is actually wrong or I'm re-injured is absolutely key.
My shoulder doesn't hurt very much, but my face does. Right here. Not here or here so much, but right here.
So once I was able to not react to every little ache and pain, recovery became a lot less stressful, and that alone really saved a lot of mental energy.
Yeah, no, I could be overreacting.
The second thing is that recovery really doesn't go in a straight line. It's not linear. You used to think that recovery would be this really straight uphill climb, get a little bit better every single day, but in reality, it's more of a chaotic scribble. And there'll be good days, bad days, weird setbacks that really come out of nowhere, and that's completely normal. So once I stopped expecting perfect progress or a smooth uphill climb the whole way, I really accepted that healing is messy, and it made it a lot easier to handle everything along the way. And adjusting those expectations really made a huge difference. The third thing I learned is that the mental side really matters. No one warns you about this enough. Your body is healing, but your mind is really at the center of recovery. The frustrations along injury recovery, the isolation, the self-doubt, all of this can really add up and take a mental toll, and the process can be very draining mentally.
Emotional damage.
Unfortunately, most recovery plans include little to nothing about mindset or mental health in general. But your mindset can really make or break your recovery. As Dr. Jeff Huffman states, there's really no question that your state of mind can dictate how quickly you can return from a physical setback. So for me, things like journaling, talking with others who have been through it, meditation, simply getting outside into nature, or finding new non-physical hobbies were a few things that really helped on that mindset side and that mental distraction. Recovery is already a pretty tough grind, so giving a few mental tools a shot really can't hurt, and hopefully make the progress a little more manageable and provide a little bit of perspective along the way. The fourth major thing that I learned is that having rough days or feeling down doesn't mean you're weak. It just means that you're doing something hard. There were plenty of days that I didn't want to do PT, but it doesn't mean you're weak or failing. It just means that it's part of the deal. You're allowed to be over it sometimes. And the key is just to not quit on yourself, because in the end, you're the only one that suffers from that. The fifth major thing that I learned is that it's not going to feel perfect, unfortunately. Even when you're doing everything right in PT and rehab, things can just feel off. You can obviously still be improving, but it may not just feel like progress. You might have that stiffness, tightness, those weird imbalances for no reason.
Today I got up, I stepped onto the grill, and I clamped down on my foot. That's it. I don't see what's so hard to believe about that.
But you're never gonna have that perfect, everything feels great moment. And you gotta keep pushing forward in spite of that. Obviously listen to your body because you know it best, but just realize that, especially after surgery, it may not take you all the way down to a 0 pain level. So a big thing for me was to not expect that 0 pain level, and obviously do everything in your control to get there, but just don't expect it to feel awesome all the time, because some days it might just hurt, and that's okay. Set expectations that sometimes it'll just feel off. The sixth major thing that I learned was motivation won't save you, but discipline will. Obviously motivation fades quickly, especially in recovery when you're tired and sore and can't sleep in all these weird positions and just generally over it. And that's really what makes the difference, is just to keep showing up. And as Jocko Willink states, discipline really equals freedom, and that's especially true in injury recovery. Just stay consistent and stay disciplined, and you'll get where you want to be. Discipline is what will carry you through those really difficult times. There'll obviously be days when you don't feel like doing PT, eating healthy, or even just getting out of bed, but you have to just keep showing up and being consistent. Really just try to stay the course and trust the process.
Stay with us. Stay the course.
The seventh major thing that I learned is that recovery changes you for the better. It certainly may not feel like that at the beginning or in the middle of your recovery, but the process will help you build character, and you really learn a lot of important things like patience, grit, and really how to overcome adversity.
They've done studies, 60% of the time it works every time.
Additionally, you'll be a little more in tune to what your body and mind need. You'll really have a deeper respect for what your body is capable of, and more importantly, what your mind is able to handle. The whole process is really hard and messy, but it will really give you experience to reflect back on that you may look back at fondly because it made you more resilient. It's obviously not an experience that you chose, but it's one that can teach you a lot of lessons if you let it. So just know that if you're in the thick of it right now, that it's not easy. And that doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. It's supposed to be hard, so stick with it. It's tough. And most importantly, you're not alone. There are other people dealing with the same thing as you. So reach out to friends, family, any connections you have, or even check out online communities like the Bounce Back app or other similar type of communities. So drop a comment and tell us what has helped you, or if there's anything that you wish you knew before surgery or found out later on like me. And also, if this was helpful, please hit that subscribe button and we'll see you in the next one.